System automated recovery. File recovered. Black box audio log. Research vessel. Starlight-9. Sector 7 uncharted boundary. Status. Crew missing. Primary systems destroyed. Playback starting now.
Log entry 01. Chief Engineer Commander Vance reporting aboard the Deep Space Survey vessel Starlight-9. Date. Well, internal chronometers have been malfunctioning for the last 3 days, but according to our primary subspace array, it should be October 14th. We are currently drifting on the absolute fringe of Sector 7. Officially, this space is unmapped. Unofficially, it is empty. There are no navigational beacons out here, no trading routes, no light from nearby star systems. Just an endless heavy wall of jet-black vacuum stretching across billions of miles. 6 hours ago, our long-range sensors picked up an irregularity. It was not a physical mass, nor was it a standard electromagnetic wave. It was a rhythmic pulse coming from a coordinate point that shouldn't exist. Space in that specific zone is registered as dead. When Captain Hayes adjusted our course to investigate, the ship's primary chronos drive suffered a localized spike. The grav dampeners flickered for 3 seconds. Nothing major, but the temperature in the forward lower corridor dropped by 20 degrees in less than a second. The airlocks remain sealed. The hull integrity is at 100%. But standing here near the observation viewport, looking into the pitch-black void of Sector 7, something feels deeply wrong. Space isn't just quiet out here. It feels heavy, like it's listening. End of entry 01, log entry 02. Vance again. It has been 12 hours since our last recording. The situation aboard Starlight-9 has escalated from a minor technical anomaly to something I cannot logically explain. At 0200 hours, Science Officer Mercer attempted to run a diagnostic on the incoming signal. The pulse is repeating every 4 minutes and 12 seconds. But here is the part that makes no sense. The signal is not originating from outside the vessel anymore. According to our internal telemetry, the frequency is being emitted from within the ship, specifically from the secondary storage deck on level 4. I personally walked down to deck 4 40 minutes ago. The main lights on that deck had tripped off. I was forced to use manual emergency lanterns. Walking down those narrow, cold steel corridors, the silence was overwhelming. All you can hear down there is the faint, distant hum of the coolant lines and the sound of your own boots hitting the iron floor panels. When I reached Storage Bay B, I opened the manual pressure valve. The room was freezing. Frost had formed on the inside of the aluminum crates. I checked every inch of that bay. There were no transmitters, no unregistered hardware, no personnel. Yet as I stood in the middle of that dark bay, my suit's atmospheric sensors registered a subtle shift in air pressure, a displacement, as if someone or something was standing directly beside me, occupying space in the dark, breathing without making a sound. When I returned to the bridge, Mercer showed me the audio feed captured by the internal hull microphones while I was on deck 4. Behind the sound of my footsteps, there was another set of footsteps, slow, heavy, following me 3 paces behind. We are locking down deck 4. End of entry 02. Log entry 03. We have lost contact with the bridge. I am currently recording this from the auxiliary engineering terminal on deck 2. 2 hours ago, Captain Hayes decided to cut the primary power grid to reset the ship's main AI core, hoping it would clear whatever ghost signals were corrupting our sensors. That was a fatal mistake. When the power dropped and the vessel went completely dark, the temperature plummeted across all decks. The emergency red lights flickered on, casting long, bloody shadows down every corridor. And then the ship stopped feeling empty. In the absolute darkness, Mercer screamed over the comms. He claimed he saw movement outside the bridge's main glass viewport. Not a ship, not debris. He described it as a vast, shapeless shadow moving against the backdrop of the stars, something larger than our entire vessel, wrapping itself around the exterior hull. Immediately after his transmission, the bridge comms cut to static. I tried to reach the bridge using the manual access ladder, but the heavy blast doors on deck 1 have been sealed from the inside. Through the thick reinforced titanium doors, I couldn't hear shouting or alarms. All I could hear was a faint, wet scraping sound, like something heavy being dragged slowly across the metal floor panels. I am looking at the auxiliary status monitor right now. The ship's oxygen reserves are draining rapidly, but there are no hull breaches detected. It's as if the air itself is being consumed by something occupying the empty rooms. I have my sidearm on the desk beside me. In the dark corridors outside this engineering bay, I can hear the air vents rattling. Something is crawling through the maintenance ducts. It is moving slowly, methodically. It knows where every room leads. End of entry 03. Log entry 04. I am the only one left. An hour ago, the seal on the bridge door was breached from the inside. I didn't go up there. I didn't have to. The automated internal monitors came back online for a brief 10 seconds before blowing out permanently. There was no blood on the bridge, no signs of a struggle. Captain Hayes, Mercer, and the 3 technicians. Their suits were sitting in their command chairs, fully sealed, pristine. But the suits were empty. Collapse marks indicated that whatever was inside them simply vanished, leaving the heavy gear behind. The entity, or whatever has invaded Starlight-9, does not use force. It does not smash doors or break glass. It exists in the dark spots where light fails to reach. It seeps through the shadows, taking what it needs, leaving behind an icy, silent void. The main engines are completely dead now. The Chronos drive has frozen into a block of solid ice. The ship is drifting deeper into Sector 7, pulled by a gravitational pull that does not appear on any chart. Outside my window, space is no longer black. It has turned a strange shimmering indigo. The stars are shifting, blurring together like melting wax. I think we have passed the event horizon of something that shouldn't exist. I can hear it now, just outside the heavy blast door of this engineering sanctuary. It isn't banging on the door. It is knocking. 3 slow rhythmic taps. Tap, tap, tap. It sounds almost polite, like an invitation. End of entry 04. Log entry 05. Final entry. If you are listening to this recording, if a salvage crew ever tracks down the black box of the Starlight-9 drifting in the dead zones of Sector 7, listen to me very carefully. Do not dock with the ship. Do not attempt to recover the vessel. Do not open the airlocks. We thought we were exploring an empty universe. We thought the void was just cold, dead matter waiting to be mapped. We were wrong. The void is awake. It has been waiting in the dark for thousands of years, watching us build engines capable of reaching its domain. It does not hate us. It simply claims what enters its quiet kingdom. My suit's oxygen display reads 0%. My fingers are frozen numb. The emergency lights have finally burned out. I am sitting here in absolute pitch-black darkness. And yet, I can see perfectly. The door opened 10 minutes ago. Nobody walked in, but the room is full. The darkness is reaching out, touching my face, wrapping around my chest like a freezing blanket. It is cold, but it is peaceful. There is no pain here, no fear, just the infinite silence of deep space. If you hear this message, turn your vessel around, lock your navigational coordinates, and whatever you do not look out into the dark.
End of audio file. Starlight-9 recovery complete.